The whole aim of Newspeak is to narrow the range of thoughts. In the end, we shall make thought crime literally impossible because there will be no words in which to express it. Every concept that can ever be needed will be expressed by exactly one word, with its meaning richly defined and all its subsidiary meanings rubbed out and
Today we are going to talk about the darkest inhuman era in history by using an antique book of prophecy. That the book 1984 serves as a mirror to the specific crisis of the mid-20th century, proving that the totalitarianism's greatest weapon is the destruction of objective truth. And I will divide it into 3 sections, each of which is what's this book, so that you guys who haven't read it will have a brief understanding of this book. Then, how does it foretell the story, so that we can build up a deeper connection to that period. Last of all, I will give a rating of this book, whether you should read it or not. So, let's dig into it.
Part 1, 1984.
This is a book of 1984 by George Orwell, published in 1949. The story follows Winston Smith in the surveillance state of Oceania, where the ruling party, led by the ubiquitous Big Brother, suppresses free thought, manipulates history, and enforces absolute obedience through techniques such as Newspeak,
The official language of Oceania, designed to diminish the range of human thought so that thought crime becomes impossible.
and doublethink.
The power of holding 2 contradictory beliefs in one's mind simultaneously and accepting both of them. The character Winston Smith, a low-ranking member of the Outer Party who works at the Ministry of Truth, where his job is to rewrite history to match the party's ever-changing propaganda. However, he broke the rules by writing his rebellious thoughts in the journal and fell in love with a woman, which is also forbidden. As George Orwell wrote, "Always the eyes watching you and the voice enveloping you, asleep or awake, working or eating, indoors or out of doors, no escape." Consequently, he was caught because his life was being monitored by hidden cameras, then tortured until he obeyed like the others. Overall, George Orwell wrote these stimulating elements as the main conflicts of this book to reflect what has already happened, what is unfolding, and what is yet to come in that period. Thus, we are examining how this book interprets the mid-20th century.
Part 2, the historical mirror.
To truly understand 1984, you have to look at the world George Orwell was living while he wrote it. Picture London in 1948, a grey, hungry city, still in ruins from the Blitz, where the strict rationing was a daily struggle. Orwell himself was dying of tuberculosis, isolated in a freezing, primitive house in Scotland. He wasn't just writing a story, he wrote a warning as he watched the world slide into the permanent tension of the Cold War. Orwell implied this in his book, stating, "The war is a warfare of limited aims between combatants who are unable to destroy one another. This permanent war is about the power, the control." Orwell saw how the Nazis destroyed freedom of speech after 1933, creating a totalitarian system of censorship. He reflected this through Newspeak in his story, which I mentioned earlier, a tool to make doublethink impossible. Finally, he saw the rise of absolute leaders. Big Brother is a direct reflection of Hitler and Stalin, the face of a party that is always watching. As Orwell famously wrote, if you want a picture of the future, imagine a bullet stamping on a human face forever. This was his final chilling warning against the totalitarianism. Part 3. The Double Plus Good Recommendation. So, diving into the backbones and shadows of Oceania. Is 1984 still worth your time? My answer is yes. I recommend this book not just because it's a classic, but as an essential read for anyone who wants to understand how the spirits of times between 1920 and 1950 that shaped our modern world. If you are a history enthusiast or a student of the Cold War, this novel is a visceral way to experience the anxiety of that era. However, the book's bleakness and depressing ending might be the challenge for some readers, but that's necessary for Orwell's writing. In the end, George Orwell's 1984 masterpiece remains one of the most stimulating critics of totalitarianism ever written. It reminds us that history is a mirror, and if we are brave enough to look into it, we might just prevent the future Orwell feared from becoming a reality. Well, stay curious, stay questioning, and remember, even the darkest era, 2 plus 2 will always make 4. Thanks for watching.